Getting in shape can be scary. So many questions, so many things to learn. But that's where we come in. The Fitness Fundamental Podcast. The only podcast here to take the fear out of fitness. With your host, Dom Jackson. What's up, fitness freaks? This is Dom Jackson. You're tuned into the Fitness Fundamental Podcast. The only podcast here to take the fear out of fitness. Now, today's guest, the one and only Joe Scola, the Wise Ape CEO himself. Joe, how you feeling today, man?
Feeling fantastic. Thanks for having me. It's great to be here, hanging with my old buddy. We haven't seen each other in a while since our last interview, but it's always great to see you, man.
Punch my name in the mouth, you know it.
That's right.
Yeah, me and Joe go way back. We at my first gym I worked at, Club Metro. We met there. We actually met through Snapchat, didn't we?
We did, man.
The ghost codes. Oh man,
isn't that crazy?
It's a throwback right there.
Yeah, that's the world we live in, man.
Yeah.
Right.
So
connected digitally and then met physically.
Yeah. So you never know, guys. That one person you meet in your DMs could be doing an interview on your podcast.
That's right.
Now, Joe, you have your own company. The Wise Ape Tea company. Let me hear some information about that. Give me some details on it.
Sure, yeah, Wise Ape. So just to summarize it, we're a healthy lifestyle tea company. We make really unique tea blends. So we take ingredients from the west part of the world, the east part of the world. We kind of put them together in unique formulations to serve the mind, the body, and your personal mission. So essentially, we're taking unique herbs that are called adaptogens, which have adaptogens in general have the character of helping the body to better reduce or regulate stress naturally. But a lot of these adaptogens also have properties which hyper-focus on one part of the mind or the body. So, for example, our first blend that we launched in 2017, it's called Chocolate Hustle.
Chocolate Hustle, baby.
I know you're a fan of the hustle.
Yeah.
And we took 3 adaptogens from India, ashwagandha, bacopa, and tulsi. And all 3 of those adaptogens have been shown in studies to help support cognitive function. So whether it's memory or recall, things along that line, these 3 have been shown to improve those. So we put those together in specific quantities, along with a yerba mate. Yerba mate is like a South American tea, essentially, right? It's got caffeine in it, and it's for centuries it's been used to support the brain as well. And we put that together with some fresh cacao nibs, some peppermint, so it's got a nice chocolate and mint notes to it.
Nice. And
it's got a roasty flavor. And we put all these together with our first unique tea blend, Chocolate Hustle, and it's designed to support the brain. And then, of course, as you know, we partner each one of our teas with a different altruistic mission. So for that one specifically, we partner with the National Brain Tumor Society.
Nice.
So our company creates some really unique products by taking these herbs from around the world, putting them together, smashing them up, designed with a purpose, with a function in mind, which is why we call it functional tea blends. And that's the short of it. But we have 3 blends, as you know.
That's right. 3 blends: Chocolate Hustle, Orange Dreamsicle, and what's the information one? Coconut Warrior. Coconut Warrior.
Yeah.
That was badass too.
Yeah.
So now when you go about making the teas, like how do you go about researching each one of the herbs and like the process of it?
Yeah, so typically it starts with the function in mind.
Okay.
And many times with these specific teas that we've already created, it started with my own personal problem or dilemma or
scratch your own itch.
Exactly, scratch my own itch. So with Hustle, it was like, man, I want something that's going to brain support. I was an entrepreneur working on another startup, and I left that, and this idea kind of came to me, and we can touch on like the whole background and story if you want, but I was scratching my own itch, man. I needed something to kind of help me power through the days, help me focus. I was doing heavy amounts of research when I came up with the blend, and I think it's that's why. And it continued that way. So the next blend was the Orange Dreamsicle. At the time, I was looking to optimize my sleep. I was tracking all of my sleep habits and routines, specifically with a device, a piece of hardware called the Aura Ring, which is fantastic. It shows your deep sleep levels, your light sleep levels, your REM sleep. It shows your heart rate variability when you work out, so you know if you should crush your workout the next day. or if your central nervous system might need a break.
Damn.
It's a great device. Highly recommend it. So anyway, I was tracking my sleep patterns with the Aura Ring, and I noticed that although I felt like I was getting great sleep, my deep sleep levels really were not optimized. So I started toying with ingredients. I started toying with valerian root, chamomile, and eventually it led to me, and the Wise Ape team creating the Orange Dreamsicle tea blend.
Nice.
Which, even through tracking after we created that, I started seeing an increase in my sleep levels, which was cool.
Yeah, that tea definitely knocks you out, guys. Yeah. I take that for some of my 5 a.m. days, and I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out. So now when you go, you said that actually no, we probably should cover some of the backstory a little more. That's probably let's go back to go forward. All right. Yeah. So now, as far as the concept of coming up with the Wise Ape Tea, like how did that come about? The ape, everything. How did it all come together?
Yeah. So, I think many times in our lives everybody's forced with challenges, right? Everybody's forced with these moments in our lives that are real struggles. That's the human condition. That's what life is. And this happened to be one of those for me. I had a previous startup. It was a cool, sexy idea. It was like a video technology startup, and things were going well. We had raised some funds from angels, and we're in this cool accelerator up in North Jersey. And just as everything was kind of building towards this peak in one sense or another, my father was unfortunately diagnosed with GBM brain cancer. GBM being glioblastoma multiforme, which is like the last thing you want to hear. There's really not too many survivors, if any at all. I mean, I think at the time the median survival rate was like 12 months or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like this crazy thing that just, we go through life not ever expecting these things to happen. And when we're confronted with them, it really does shatter your universe, shatters your world. So at that point, I made the decision, like, you know what? I was super close with my dad growing up. He was an entrepreneur as well. He had his own like concrete business.
Nice.
So every summer, man, I grew up in the mud, concrete, jackhammering concrete out. That was, that brought him and I closer together growing up. So when this happened, it was like, you know what, man, I'm moving home, taking care of my dad. This might be like the last chunk of time I have with him. It was hard to confront that too, but all I knew is I wanted to be near my dad. So I moved home and took care of him. And during that time, I started researching teas and herbs and other alternative medicines. Just like, what can we do here to potentially like beat this thing, or B, provide, if this is like the end of his life, like let it be the best end of his life he could have, and be the most comfortable and the healthiest and feel the best. So, started researching all these components, and that's when like the spirit of Wise Ape was really, really born, man. It was like I started using teas to battle my own stress, because there was a lot of it at the time, and I started giving him teas as well to kind of help fight the cancer as best as we could, along with a bunch of other crazy concoctions that I had him taking. But it brought us, we were already super close, but it brought us even closer together.
Whole new level, huh?
Yeah, whole new level. And I was able to care for him the way he cared for me as a child, which is never something that you expect, and it's not something that I like really wish on anybody. But at the same time, going through that, man, it's like this whole other chunk of my life now that I could look back on and be like, I'm so grateful I was able to be there for him in that way, in that capacity, And I told him about the idea, told him about Wise Ape, told him about these crazy functional tea blends, and he gave me his blessing, and he loved the idea. And that to me was like a sign that the universe was saying, Joe, this is it, man. This is it. You got to pursue this. You got to do something with this. Don't let this be one of those ideas that you think, because we all have ideas, right?
We do.
Don't let this be one of those ideas that just sits there. Yeah, I coulda, woulda, shoulda. You got to do this. And when he passed, I decided that was it, man. Like, we're full force ahead, And I'd already been kind of working on it a bit while he was sick, because that's when the idea was born. But really, once he passed, it was like, all right, this is the mission. And the other component to that was that kind of fell in place after he passed was we had been donating to this great organization called the National Brain Tumor Society,
Right.
and decided we need to partner with these guys, you know. And we reached out, and it took a while, but that was the first partnership that we made.
That's awesome.
For the Chocolate Hustle blend. And then thereafter, each one of our teas, we decided to partner with an awesome organization, an impactful cause moving forward. And so we've done that with our other 2 teas as well.
That's amazing. Damn. That's impact right there. So with all that drive behind you, you know, being a CEO of a company and starting your startup off the ground, how do you find time for your own personal fitness?
For my own personal fitness? Well, it's a necessity, but it's also a struggle for sure. And I've gone through waves where I'm hitting it every day and I'm super consistent. And then I've gone through waves where the workload that I'm hit with Wise Ape, or certain challenges or hurdles or stressors, have taken me off course, just being transparent, you know.
Of course.
But I certainly notice a difference when I'm consistent in the gym, or even if I can't make it to the gym, but I'm waking up and I'm banging out those burpees, I'm hitting the jumping jacks.
There we go.
I'm swinging some kettlebells, even if it's for 15, 20 minutes in the morning. Man, I feel like it boosts me 200% for the day. Yeah. So
you find time for it.
Find time for it.
Yeah. And if you don't find time for it, you understand that, like, you just got to get back to it.
Exactly.
So yeah, there we go. See, a lot of you guys out there listening are thinking that, you know, fitness is 100% all the time. Go, 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 go. But it's about balances. You know, even myself, I'm a trainer, but there's times where I'm not working out as consistently as I normally would because shit, I don't feel like working out today. Like, I'm in the gym all the time. It's not about just the working out to go. It's about making the lifestyle, give and go. You don't see your friends every day. You know, you don't go to the movies every day. You don't have to work out every day. It's a lifestyle. Whether you're CEO or you're me. Well, you know, got podcasting. Anyway, now Joe, what about like a pre-workout tea? Is that ever a thing you were thinking about?
Yeah, man. I've long been playing around with formulations just at home, which usually consist of like a matcha base, because matcha is essentially a green tea in powder form, right? Where you're actually consuming the entire leaf. And matcha is great because it not only contains more caffeine than your average cup of tea, because you are consuming the entire leaf. So high caffeine content, but it also contains a compound called L-theanine. L-theanine, which helps to better regulate the way the caffeine is absorbed into your body. So you get a much more even-keeled, kind of heightened caffeine effect.
Wow.
From these two things together. So, and there's supplements, there's a great company called Natural Stacks. They make a caffeine pill, but they combine it with L-theanine. So every once in a while, if I'm like in a rush or something, I'm on the move and I don't have time to make that cup of tea or whatever it is, or I'm out and it's not convenient, I'm in a place, I'll pop I believe they're like 100 milligram caffeine pills which is like a cup of coffee with L-theanine in it. So it's a super even keeled, heightened like awareness.
Wow.
So yeah, we've been toying around with some matcha blends, putting some other stuff in there as well. Some interesting flavors. But then there's all different grades of matcha as well. Like, you know, you could get some dirt cheap matcha that's going to taste awful. Oh. It's going to taste like straight grass clippings. And so there's like matcha they make just for cooking purposes, and then there's ceremonial grade matcha that's better for drinking and enjoying. Yeah,
that's that good guys.
That's the good stuff right there. Yeah.
Now, the Coconut Warrior, that one has a lot of turmeric in it, correct?
That's right.
And that one helps out with inflammation.
Right. So yeah, the Coconut Warrior blend was designed to help your body fight against inflammation, which is like, we're all consumed with inflammation, especially based on your diet. There's so many inflammatory foods out there, especially the grains, the sugars. So especially in amongst people eating a Western diet, which hopefully many of you listening aren't too deep into that.
Yeah, watch the French fries, guys.
Yeah. That even if even when you're younger, you can process those things way easier, right? You can eat. I used to be able to crush a pizza in my 20s, and I wouldn't gain a pound, and I'd feel fine. But I believe those things kind of compound in your body over time. And, your body's a very complex machine with different filters and filtrations. And,
of course.
And after years and years and years, stuff starts getting gunked up. And stuff doesn't, move through the same way. Your body doesn't react the same way. So it's important to kind of maintain as best as possible, at least a consciousness for what we're putting into our bodies. And this tea, getting back to Coconut Warrior, we designed it because I know a lot of people are struggling with inflammation. So this is just one more tool you can add to your healthy lifestyle toolkit to potentially help mitigate some of those, negative effects, or just help improve your overall health and wellness. There's turmeric in there, which we pair with black pepper, just a little bit, because there's a component in pepper called piperine.
Oh, piperine. I like saying that.
And piperine actually activates the turmeric and makes it more bioavailable by over 2,000%.
Wow.
Which means turmeric on its own, if you look into the research behind it, it's not very bioavailable. If you're just sprinkling turmeric on a piece of chicken or something, you're not getting a ton of benefits from the curcumin that's in the turmeric. The second you add a little bit of black pepper to that, or even some healthy fats, turmeric responds really well to healthy fats, you're then increasing its bioavailability so it can get into your body and start reaping the benefits of the turmeric. Turmeric's one of the ingredients. We pair it with pepper for that specific reason. We also use an ingredient from South America. It's called pau de arco. It's a bark. It's been used for centuries by the South American people. It's great for the gut. It's great for anti-inflammation. And then we've got some cinnamon in there.
Nice.
It's got notes of coconut and vanilla. So we really like to mix function with flavor. We don't want you drinking something that you can't stomach.
Yeah.
It's got to taste good, But we do our research, and we want to put in the best, most high-quality ingredients we can possibly find, and we pair these things together very consciously. Yeah, so we're not just throwing stuff together.
Yeah, like the rest of the supplement companies out there.
There's a lot, not all of them, but there's a lot out there for sure.
Yeah, a lot of mixing up. I think that's it. Fair, a good way to close this. I didn't think this far ahead. So, Joe, do you have any questions for the people listening out there? Anything you want them to answer?
Any questions? I guess just if you guys are interested, we're always looking for great feedback from our community and from our tribe. And if you guys have any specific functions that you're looking for, let me rephrase this. If you're looking for, if there's one thing in your life health-wise that you're trying to improve or trying to increase, what would that be in terms of is there, if you could have a magic product, here you go. If you could have a magic product to help you with any piece of your health journey, what would that product do? What would it help you with? And feel free to hit me up directly, contact at wiseapetea.com, send me a message, hit me up in the DM on Instagram, Wise Ape Co, and shoot me what you think that one magic supplement should help you with, because we're always looking for feedback from the community, and who knows, maybe there's going to be a tea blend that comes out soon with that in mind.
Hopefully there's a banana flavored one coming soon.
Banana flavored?
Yeah. Nan life, baby.
Nan life.
Anyway, thanks so much for coming, Joe. Guys, thanks so much for listening. Had the Wise Ape CEO, Joe Scola, in the building. You guys did great. Tune in next week, and take care.